not a single actor that works at Dhar Mann Studios can afford rent.
It's kind of funny that someone in the chat was like, Asha, you should probably check out what's going on with Dhar Mann Studios because apparently they're protesting him. And I Google it, I go onto Twitter, I go onto Reddit, and everyone is talking about it. Protest Dhar Mann, share this hashtag. We protest Dhar Mann Studios and especially Dhar Mann today. When was this? 16 hours ago. There's been so much support already from fellow actors and fans, but we need more help. But what is it about? Okay, let's watch this.
I protested the man never talks to anyone, he silently fires people, and he doesn't pay anyone what they're worth.
I know her specifically. I know she's one of the Dhar Mann actresses. She's been in a lot of his videos. So it seems like the protest is about protesting Dhar Mann Studios because they're not getting paid enough and they're secretly being fired.
For over like 4.5 years. I mean, that's more than a college education. So to be treated like I'm not even worth being listened to at all, that was just, there are so many like other issues.
She no longer has Dhar Mann Studios in her bio.
Production, there's no camera. This is literally just a lot of us are upset with the way we've been treated here at Dhar. We asked for a meeting and we were told that we were not being given a meeting after being kind of just ultimately disregarded, and for us that was too far. So we're out here protesting. Right, guys? So that's what's happening if you're wondering. It's not a joke.
We are out here, 4400 Van Nguyen Street, Burbank. Darn it! If I was in California, I could have been protesting Dhar Mann.
A lot of people have been fired previously for speaking out and asking questions, and that's why we decided to come together as a collective and make our voices heard. But that seems to have not worked, but we're still here, we're talking. And, you know, we're just taking it sort of moment by moment, day by day, seeing what's going to happen. So thank you for all the support.
YouTuber treats actors and actresses poorly, lives to regret it. Seriously though, this man's life has become a Dhar Mann story. Ain't no way Dhar Mann got exposed for underpaying his employees and firing a lot of people. He was teaching life lessons and morals and can't even follow his own advice. I can't believe it. Dhar Mann wasn't a good person in the end. These two are like OG Dhar Mann actors. You know you're watching a Dhar Mann video if any of these actors are in it. Not anymore. Actors protest at Dhar Mann Studios on Instagram Live.
Hey!
So the employees are saying that Dhar isn't going to raise pay or he's not coming to any meetings to discuss this. And Dhar was being rude and treating them poorly. One of the girl actors even had a sign saying, "Fraud man. He is not changing lives. He's making things worse."
Essentially, as an actor at Dhar Mann Studios, I am just a contract player. I have no employment there. I am just sort of called every now and then, as are all the other actors. And it just is not sustainable. And there are a lot of issues at hand here, but one of the main issues is that not a single actor that works at Dhar Mann Studios can afford rent. This is a show that has millions of views across multiple social media platforms. Videos are shot, edited, posted, repackaged as new videos, reposted in other places over and over and over and over and over again, racking in millions of views, ad revenue, all this sort of stuff. The studio has continued to expand for some time. My entire tenure there, when I first started, we shot everything, as I've told you guys on lives and things like that. We shot everything in an apartment building downtown, in an apartment, not even the building. Occasionally we would go to the garage of that building, but it was really just all in one apartment. And now there are 3 sound stages in Burbank, but things haven't really gotten better for us. And again, I don't want to go into specifics because it's a kind of a big thing and it's really just between us. But I think that people should be aware of why we are protesting, why we are out there right now. We've been talking to a lot of actors. It's the same. Everybody feels the same across the board. The trouble is, there's a culture at the studio of if you talk, you're out. So we decided to come together as a group and talk collectively with our boss, Dhar Mann. We sent a letter to him, a hard copy and an email. The email was CC'd to the head of production as well, so that we made sure that Dhar got it, but it was addressed to Dhar. It was delivered to Dhar. That letter was forwarded to the HR department, which we are not employees of Dhar Mann Studios. We are contract players. So exactly what we have to do with HR, we're not entirely sure. But it was forwarded over there. We were contacted, said we could have a meeting to discuss our issues. That meeting was pushed several times, changed on us. When we finally got to the meeting, we had reiterated that we wanted it to be with Dhar. Dhar was not there. And we said, well, we are not going to have the meeting until Dhar is here. You guys can be here, the head of production, the head of HR. That's great. We'd love for you to be there too, so everybody's on the same page. But our meeting is with our boss, the person who signs our contracts, Dhar Mann. Thank you very much. Please get back to us with a time for the next meeting by next Tuesday. Just a time for the meeting, not necessarily the next meeting, but by Tuesday. We said this in person. We reiterated it a few minutes later via an email. We checked back in following a couple days, reiterating again, we would like to speak specifically with Dhar. This is what the meeting is about. This is our boss. This is who we want to talk to. End of the week comes and goes. We learned Saturday there will not be a meeting. Meanwhile, a lot of other stuff has happened at the studio. Some not great stuff. Whether it's connected or not, we don't know because no one's talking to us. So that's why we're here right now, because all we wanted to do was sit down and have a conversation with our boss. That didn't happen. We were told explicitly that there will not be any meetings and that any issues that we have can be written down and forwarded to HR. And that's just not acceptable.
Well, I don't know why he's firing them. Is he just going to find younger, cheaper actors? As someone who has a large platform on social media, I feel it's important to share what's been happening outside of the Dhar Mann Studios. These actors are being treated unfairly. Without them and their amazing talents, let's be honest, nobody would know who Dhar Mann is. These guys made him. I think I'm gonna have to make a full video on this. Dhar Mann, one of the biggest creators on YouTube and probably one of the biggest on Facebook. There's no articles about him. This has been going on for almost 24 hours now, and no mainstream outlet has said a single thing. The last article posted about him was about Christmas? Dhar Mann is nothing without her. For real! You know how many videos she's been in? Oh, look, here she is. 2 months ago, she was in that one. The thing is, she's not always in the thumbnail, but she's in most of these videos. Oh, there she is again. There she is again. Oh, there she is again. And these are just the ones that I can see that she's in the thumbnail. They're like, there she is again. They're single-handedly like floating his whole show. There she is again. In my eyes, she's the #1 Dhar Mann actress. New drama with Dhar Mann. Didn't expect that today. Neither did I.